Hostas are the go-to plants for adding a touch of lush, vibrant greenery to those shady spots in your garden. In this guide, we'll walk you through everything you need to know to get your hostas off to a great start, from choosing the right variety for your space to ensuring they thrive with proper care. If you're aiming to create a lush, green oasis in your yard, you're in the right place. Stick around for all the tips and tricks to make your hostas flourish. With an astonishing variety to choose from, selecting the right hosta is more about finding the perfect match for your garden's specific conditions and your personal taste. If you're working with a small space or want to enhance a container garden, miniature hostas like blue mouse ears are an excellent choice thanks to their compact size and rounded blue-green leaves. On the other hand, giant varieties like Empress Wu, which can grow up to 4 feet wide with massive, deeply veined leaves, make a bold statement. Leaf color is another crucial factor. For a classic green hosta, Royal Standard is a dependable choice, offering fragrant white flowers as a bonus. If you're looking for something more striking, the popular variety June features gold-centered leaves edged in blue-green. For an even more dramatic effect, Fire and Ice dazzles with white leaves edged in dark green, brightening even the shadiest corners of your garden. However, aesthetics are only part of the equation. You also need to consider the growing conditions. Hostas like Sunpower or August Moon can handle more sunlight and are perfect for spots that receive a few hours of morning sun. Conversely, if you've got deep shade, varieties like Patriot or Blue Angel will thrive in low light and cooler conditions. Moisture is another consideration. Hostas, such as Francis Williams, prefer consistently moist soil, making them ideal for areas that stay damp, while others like Halcyon are more tolerant of drier conditions. Timing is key when planting hostas. The best times to plant are either in the spring, just as the ground warms up and the threat of frost has passed, or in early fall when temperatures start to cool, but the soil remains warm. Spring planting gives your hostas a full growing season to establish their root systems, which is crucial in colder climates. Early fall planting, on the other hand, allows the plants to focus on root development, setting them up for a strong start the following spring. Choosing the right location for planting is crucial to your hosta's success. These shade-loving plants thrive best in partial to full shade, making them perfect for areas in your garden that don't get much direct sunlight. Look for a location with dappled light or morning sun, as too much direct sunlight, particularly in the heat of the day, can scorch their leaves. If your garden has more sun exposure, consider varieties like Sunpower or August Moon, which can tolerate a bit more light. Hostas pair well with a variety of other shade-loving plants. Consider planting them alongside ferns, astilbes, or heucheras, which can complement the hosta's foliage and create a diverse and textured garden bed. This also helps fill in gaps where hostas may not cover, reducing the need for frequent weeding. Soil type and drainage are just as important as light. Hostas prefer well-draining, slightly acidic to neutral soil with a pH between 6 and 7. If your soil is heavy clay or too sandy, it might be worth amending it to improve its structure and fertility. You can start by testing your soil's pH with a home testing kit, then adjust it by adding lime to raise the pH or sulfur to lower it. To further enhance soil fertility and moisture retention, mix in plenty of organic matter like compost or well-rotted manure. This not only improves drainage in clay soils, but also helps sandy soils retain moisture, providing the ideal environment for your hostas to establish strong roots. When preparing the planting site, loosen the soil to a depth of about 12 inches to encourage good root penetration and air circulation. When it's time to plant, space your hostas appropriately. Depending on the variety, space them anywhere from 12 to 36 inches apart. Miniature varieties, like blue mouse ears, need less space, while large varieties like Empress Wu require much more. Dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball and deep enough to place the crown, where the stems meet the roots, level with the soil surface. Position the hosta in the hole with the crown at soil level, then backfill the hole with amended soil, pressing down gently to eliminate air pockets. After planting, water your hostas thoroughly to settle the soil around the roots and provide the moisture they need to start establishing themselves. Aim to keep the soil evenly moist during the first growing season, providing about 1 inch of water per week, either from rainfall or supplemental watering. Once your hostas are in the ground, it's essential to maintain them properly. Spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of organic mulch, such as shredded bark or leaf mold, around the base of the plant. Keep the mulch a few inches away from the crown to prevent rot. Regular watering is crucial, especially during the first season. Ensure the soil remains consistently moist, particularly during dry spells. Water deeply to encourage deep root growth, aiming for about 1 inch of water per week. Also, keep an eye out for common pests like slugs and snails, which are particularly fond of hostas. Consider using organic slug bait or beer traps to protect your plants. Besides slugs and snails, deer and rabbits are also common pests that are particularly fond of hostas. If you live in an area with these animals, consider using physical barriers like fencing or applying repellents to protect your plants. Some gardeners also plant hostas alongside deer-resistant plants to deter browsing. Dividing and propagating hostas is an essential step in maintaining their health and vibrancy, especially as they grow and spread over the years. While hostas are slow growers and may not need division annually, overcrowding can eventually become an issue. When hostas become too dense, they start to compete for resources like water, nutrients, and space, leading to diminished growth and fewer blooms. Dividing your hostas not only helps to rejuvenate the plant by giving it more room to expand, but also allows you to propagate new plants, effectively multiplying your garden's lush foliage with minimal effort. The best time to divide hostas is during early spring when the new shoots are just emerging, or in early fall when the temperatures begin to cool. These periods are ideal because the plants are either just starting to grow or are winding down, reducing the stress on the plant during the division process. To divide your hostas, start by carefully digging up the entire clump, being mindful not to damage the roots. Once you have the clump out of the ground, use a sharp knife or spade to cut it into sections. Each section should have at least 1 or 2 shoots and a healthy portion of the root system to ensure it can establish itself successfully when replanted. After dividing, replant the sections immediately, following the same planting and care steps you would for new hostas. This process not only keeps your hostas thriving, but also gives them a fresh start, leading to more vigorous growth and more impressive foliage displays in the seasons to come. In colder climates, hostas are hardy, but they still benefit from some winter protection. After the first frost, as the leaves die back, you can cut them to the ground to reduce the chance of disease. Adding a layer of mulch or fallen leaves can help insulate the roots during the winter months, particularly for newly planted or divided hostas. Hostas are the perfect way to bring life to those shady spots in your garden, offering both beauty and variety. By choosing the right varieties, planting them properly, and maintaining them with care, you can enjoy a lush, vibrant landscape that thrives year after year. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gardening tips. If you have any questions or need further advice, leave a comment below. We'd love to help you create the garden of your dreams.